to my channel. This is the Nomadic Goddess and I am Jasmine. This is going to be a general weekly reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the week of January 5th through the 12th. Now, you don't have to be a Sagittarius Sun. You can be a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or Mercury. And just because I said that this was for the week of January 5th to the 12th doesn't mean that it's solely for that week. It is for whenever you stumble across my page and click play. Because this is a general reading, you shouldn't take everything with you. What do I mean by this? If the shoe fits, lace it up. Find a matching pair and travel well. If it doesn't fit, leave it there. There is no need to wear shoes that do not fit or carry messages that don't ring true for you. I am clairaudient, so I will get songs stuck in my head and I will sing them. That's how some messages come across. I'm giving you guys a heads up that I can't sing, so you'll have to endure. Because it just happens, and sometimes I have like a little mini jam session. It's just who I am. Either you love it or you can leave it and find a different reader. Alrighty, enjoy, discover something new about yourself, and don't be afraid to dive deep. With that being said, let's get started. For my Saggies. Alright, what messages do we have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or Mercury. What messages do we have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or Mercury for the week of January 5th to the 12th. What messages do we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury? What messages do we have for Sag? That was not a good shuffle. Alrighty. What messages do we have for Sag? So before I started you guys' reading, I got a Cleo Soul, Why Don't You, stuck in my head. So if it resonates or if you feel drawn to it, I would listen to it. She's a really, really good artist. BT dubs. All right, what messages do we have for Sagittarius? We have Spider. All right. Oh, messages is coming out quick. Oh, there's a card that flipped. I know that there was a card that flipped. Oh, here we go. Snake. Messages do we have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Oh, octopus. Alright, what messages do we have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th to the 12th. What messages do we have for Saggies? Ooh. Oh my gosh, I love this. What messages do we have for Saggies? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury. What messages? Oh, Swan. Look at that. Alright, what messages do we have for Saggies? What messages do we have for Saggies? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th to the 12th. What messages do we have for Saggies? have for Saggies? What messages do we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th through the 12th? Messages do we have for Saggies? What messages do we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th to the 12th? Ooh. Hey, big dick energy. Alright, what messages do we have for Saggies, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mercury for the week of January 5th through the 12th? Third party person. What messages do you have for Sagittarius? Oh, not turking these. If they're meant to come out, they'll come out. Not playing 52 card pickle with y'all, please. One at a time. One at a time. What messages do we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th through the 12th? Ooh. What messages do we have for Sagittarius? Oh, it's one of my favorite cards. Ah, yes, 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 yes. All right. All right, my Saggies. What messages do we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th through the 12th? What messages do we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury the week of January 5th through the 12th? What messages do we have for Sagittarius? Some of you have been working on your heart chakra because mine is all open and activated. What messages do we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th through the 12th. What messages do we have for Sagittarius? Sorry, there's a song I have to look up that is in my head. Oh, it's by Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. Halfway there, living on a prayer. Alright, what messages do we have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th through the 12th. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. What messages do we have? Whoop. For my Sagittarius. I just dropped a car. Can I get it? No, I can't. Oh yeah. Ooh. If this one was meant to come out, I'm gonna put it back in the deck. If it's meant to come out, it'll come out again. I can't put it in the right way. Halfway there. Alright, what messages do I have for my Saggies? Ooh. A bull Nimba harvest. What messages do I have for Sagittarius? What messages do I have for Sagittarius? Do some of you feel energy via your feet? Because the top of my foot just got really, really hot. And now it's back to normal. What messages do I have for my Saggies? Ooh, Queen Nefertiti, Alchemy. What messages do I have for my Saggies? Oh, yep, look. It was meant to come out. Izuli Dantor, Etheric Quartz. What messages do I have for my Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury for the week of January 5th through the 12th? Ooh, Ocean, Fearless Love. What messages do I have? Ooh, all of these cards. Swatchy, grounding. I'm gonna let you guys know I'm gonna butcher some of these names. I am going, because I've been looking up the proper meanings, because a lot of them are, this is my African goddess deck, and a lot of them I don't know the actual pronunciation, and I've been looking them up and trying to practice to the best of my abilities. So if I butcher them, I apologize in advance. I am actively learning to pronounce them. One last card. Oh, Deleswa. Oh, Sekhmet, Wounded Healer. All right, immediately I am hearing, how does it feel to finally drop the mask? How does it feel to stop pretending? How does it feel to finally be living and stepping into your most authentic self? Sorry, you guys, I had to drink some water. I've been busting my behind with these videos because I appreciate you guys and I love you guys and I want you guys to have the best, the best of the best, the best. So like why I've been having you guys may also be speaking up more for yourself, especially with my throat chakra activating the way that it is. It also could be me, because I think I've posted, I did Aquarius, Aries, Leo, and now you guys. So I've been working, talking nonstop for a bit, not gonna lie, for a bit. I'm talking, you know, doing my stuff, thizzle for a bit. But with the spider card, my spider card is always my Dharma card, my nurturing your gifts, your natural talents, and building them into something that will build your legacy. But also, what I realized in the last couple of readings, or the last few readings, that that the spider, that each of the web is colored in one of the 7 chakras, and the spider right now is focusing and spinning the web of it's like a orange yellowy color. And when I see this, I see the solar plexus and the sacral. But the spider card is also the creating prosperity through doing your life purpose, or your life works. So spiders are very also, spiders are very detail oriented. They make these very intricate, elaborate webs, and they take their time doing so. Whenever I see the spider card in readings, it's always a reminder to stop trying to move so fast, like stop moving so fast to get to the next thing and just focus. But it's also a reminder of what I'm hearing is Rome wasn't built in a day. So your life purpose isn't going to unfold. Some parts of it isn't going to unfold overnight, because there are some things that you guys have to unlearn. You have to heal from. You have to grow from. You have to study. You have to dedicate yourself. You have to have some type of form of commitment to start building the foundations to what is going to be your legacy, or what your purpose is. And I'm a Sag Sun, so I can attest to this, where I would be like, oh, what's my purpose? I'm not doing what my purpose is. Like, I feel like I'm not doing what my purpose is. And it literally took me this year to look back and realize that everything that I've ever wanted to do, everything that I wanted to manifest, down to the current job that I have that allows me to travel the world and experience all these different cultures and all these different things, I had to heal that aspect of me who was getting prophesied over, or getting readings done, or having dreams about these things that had yet to happen. I couldn't go as that person. I had to evolve. I had to change. I had to grow. I had to heal in order to step into the things that I'm stepping into now, or that we're at the place that I am now. So the spider card is always a reminder that just because you are where you are right now does not mean that the reading wasn't true, does not mean that the prophecy wasn't true, or the dreams didn't come true. Yes, we all have choices that we make, and yes, our choices dictate which way that we go and dictate our path. But at the same time, you cannot go to the place where you see yourself 25 years from now, even 3 years from now, 2 years from now. You're not going to be that same person. Like, you're not going to be that same person, because you have to go through this evolutionary process. With the snake card is always my cycle ending card. Always. It's a reminder of, it's always a reminder for me to look back at how far I've come, but also for me to pay attention to what cycles am I still trapped in? Where am I still needing to work on myself? Where am I still believing in limiting beliefs that I used to have? But also, the snake card is the guardian of untapped potential, untapped creative potential. So how do you unlock that? Imagine if you went full force. Imagine if you went full force, no holds bar, into just your passion, whatever you love to do. No doubts, no worries, no fears, no limiting self-beliefs. What would that look like? What would your life look like if you just went full force in? What would it look like? What would it look like if you just dedicated 6 months, 3 months, 9 months to just studying and grinding and just learning your craft and perfecting your craft? What would that look like? How far do you think you would evolve? How far do you think you would grow? How far do you think, or how fast do you think you would shed all of those limiting self-beliefs, all those insecurities, all those doubts? Like, how fast do you think that stuff would be stripped away if you just dedicated time for yourself, dedicated time for you to literally just tap into all of your raw potential? With the octopus card, yeah, I don't know how to talk today. I also have a question for you guys that are fire signs, or if you have fire and air energy in your charts. Do you guys find that you're a lot more clumsier during like retrograde? Because I know I am. With the octopus card, the octopus card is always, or sometimes it could be a card that symbolizes of what are you yearning for? What are you reaching for? Are you all over the place? Are you mentally and physically unorganized? I know I am. I'm gonna be honest. I am. I'm not gonna lie. I am. And when I find that when I have octopus energy around me and I find that it's unbalanced, I find that I'm needy and clingy and I lack courage a lot of the time. So what I used to start doing is, which was really, really weird and which made me actually get really, really comfortable with recording myself, was I would literally just make a video diary of myself. Now I wouldn't do it consecutively, but it gave me what I needed to boost my self-confidence, and it helped me boost my self-confidence, but it also alleviated a lot of my insecurities about my voice. Because for those of you who have been silenced when they were younger, and now you're coming into a place where you're speaking up for your own. I remember growing up, I was that someone didn't like the way that I talked. So what I do, I stopped talking. I was quiet. So for those people who have stuff like that going on, or that kind of trauma going on, hearing yourself talk, being comfortable with yourself talking on a video and on camera, it's a huge thing. Like, I remember I used to get extremely anxious whenever I needed to record a video for either YouTube or TikTok. Like, I would literally be like, oh my gosh, like damn near having a fucking panic attack, because I was so filled with anxiety about it. Like my heart area, like my heart would just like constrict, and it would just be too much, extremely too much. And it would, like, I would just be overwhelmed. And now, like, I make these videos with ease. Like, there are times where I'm just extremely nervous. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna say? But then that's when, like, if I can, I'll make myself a script and I read from it. But like in moments like these, it's just I'm so comfortable with my voice now. And I'm not fully there yet, going to be honest. I'm not fully there yet, but I'm on my way. But I'm so comfortable with being myself and hearing myself talk that I don't get filled with anxiety. Like, these videos get me excited because I love talking to people. I love helping people. I love guiding people through their stuff, through their traumas, through their hurts, through their pains. It's what I'm really good at. And I like talking. Like, I realized that I like talking. I like telling stories. Like, it's the sage in us. It's the philosopher in us. We all have a story to tell. We all have a story within us. We all have an inner storyteller. It's just about tapping into that. So if you're not comfortable with your voice, if you're not comfortable with the way you look on camera, start recording yourself every day. Start actively looking at yourself in the mirror every day, and don't pick out your flaws. No, just look at yourself. Like, I noticed that my eyes, I love my eyes. I love the way the sunlight hits my eyes. And I used to hate my eyes. My eyes are brown. I used to hate my eyes. I used to be like, why couldn't I be born with green eyes or blue eyes or different color eyes? But now I love my brown eyes. They look like molten batches of chocolate to me. And every day I find little things even more to physically love about myself, but it's because that I am spiritually and mentally accepting myself wholeheartedly, no matter what I look like, no matter how much I weigh, no matter how much money I make. I love myself. And that's where you guys need to get into a place with, and I feel like you guys are, especially with the etheric cords coming up. A lot of you are cutting the cords to things and people and places and old beliefs that no longer serve you, and I am so proud of you for that. If no one else has told you, I am proud of you. Proud of you all, because it takes a lot to dive to the depths of your own emotions and deal with it, to face yourself in the mirror, to battle with yourself in the mirror every day. It takes a lot. With the Fox card, the Fox is my wise teacher card, but it also could be I think it's my trickster card sometimes, because foxes are in any type of folklore, foxes are known as trickster animals. But foxes are very smart and they're very strong. The the fox reminds me of a trickster energy because they're so sly. So if you ever seen a movie with like or any animated movie with the fox is always cunning. It's always very charming. It's always very sly, like a little sneaky. And that's stepping into the shadow aspect of the fox. But the foxes are highly intelligent creatures. They know how to adapt to their environments to get what they want or get what they need. And they're also very wise. The Cosmic Egg card is, again, one of my favorite cards. And some of you actually may be going through some form of Kundalini awakening, or you're tapping into your Kundalini energy because of the snakes and both the Cosmic Egg card, and the Snake card. The Cosmic Egg card also for me is completion, like a cycle completion. Like this is like a graduation. Okay, this is where you've learned your lessons, you've shed everything that you were supposed to shed, and now you are about to birth something brand new. My Swan card is my elegant, graceful, and effortless mystic card, but it also reminds me of Gemini energy because, as you can see in the Swan card, it is floating on a pond that you can't see, but it's also being reflected. I'm also hearing balanced because it's literally a mirror image of itself. Going to the next deck or the next row, big dick energy. So big dick energy is not solely for males. It is for females too. It is for when you wake up and you're just like, I am it. I am she. I am her. I am the goddess. I am that bitch. I am it. It's like you literally wake up and you're a living, breathing Beyonce song. Especially if it's I woke up like this, or Alien Superstar. Okay, and if you're feeling like you don't have that, on the days that you don't have that, make a playlist of all of the songs that just make you feel like you are that woman, you are it, you're that woman, or you're that man, or whatever your pronouns are. But yeah, make a playlist of the songs that you feel good, so that when you wake up, like when you're getting ready, you're in the groove, like you just feel that energy, and that energy just carries with you throughout the day. I feel like with the third card part, don't know how to talk today, with the third party person card, I feel like a lot of you are cutting away and doing away with listening to other people over listening to yourselves. For most of you. Now, for some of you, you're listening to other people over listening to yourselves. And it's not that, it's more of, it's playing along the lines of that you don't trust yourself enough. But why don't you trust yourself? I'm going to ask you guys, why don't you trust yourself? Let me ask you this. When was the last time you kept your word to yourself? When was the last time that you said you were going to work out and you actually worked out? When was the last time you said that you were going to write a chapter in that book, but you actually wrote that chapter? When was the last time you said that you were going to set up studio time and actually did it and followed through and created something? When was the last time you said that you were going to get a book and read that book? When was the last time that you said you were going to take that class? All those times, all those broken promises lead up or build up on you not being able to trust yourself. Because what you're teaching your subconscious is you are untrustworthy because you aren't keeping your word to yourself. Now, I can admit I am guilty of that, especially when I say that I'm going to work out. Especially when I say I'm going to work out. I am guilty as charged. Guilty. On a wing and a prayer, there have been some things that you are manifesting, and now now that you've actually done the work, now that you've healed, now that you've grown, like you're walking, I wouldn't even say walking by faith and not by sight. Yes, you actually are. You're walking. For those of you who subscribe to Christian teachings, you're walking by faith and not by sight. For the rest of you, you're basically walking in the knowing, which is basically the same thing. You're walking in the knowing that something that you've been wanting is happening, and it's going to happen. It's going to come to fruition, and you're taking active steps to work on it, to bring it closer to you, to bring it into your material world. Oh Happy Day reminds me of a conversation that I had with my mentor. And I was telling her that I had so much to do. Like I had so much, like I was telling her, like I had so much that I needed to do, and I was just going. And she honestly told me to look back, even up until when I first started working with her, which I think was in, 2017, 2018, maybe earlier than that. I don't really remember. But she was telling me to look back at how far I've come and to see how much I've grown, see how much I've healed, see how much I've changed, and to actually celebrate those things. And I feel like, and like that was a really, really tough thing for me to do, to just take pause and look at everything that I've been through and everything that I've grown from and everything that I've healed from, and to actually look at how much I've evolved, how much changing I've done. And it was like, I even right now I want to cry tears of joy, because it made me extremely happy, because it was true, and I didn't give myself a chance to celebrate myself. And I'm so glad that she brought that to me, because what she said was, if I don't even remember exactly what she said, but it went along the lines of, if that doesn't make you happy, then you have to ask yourself, then what is enough? Again, it's not what she said verbatim, but that's what I took from it. If you aren't happy when you look back at your life and you see how much you've changed, seeing how much you can see it, you can feel it, like you are a whole completely different person, then why are you doing it? Like, what is the reason for doing it? What is the reason for growing and healing and changing so much that you can't enjoy it? You can't be happy about it. You have to, there has to be a breakup. It has to go. Like, when are you going to celebrate you? And if you can't celebrate you, then why do you feel unworthy of being celebrated? Oof. Now, next card, my favorite card, one of my favorite cards, the I love you for free card. The I love you for free card is a reminder to set healthy boundaries with the people that you love, whether that be familial, platonic, or intimate. The I love you for free card is a reminder for me to have unconditional love for everybody. But, because there is a but, even though I love that person, or even though I love people unconditionally, to always have conditions and boundaries on my relationship with them. What does that mean? That means that if this person constantly treats me like poo, then my relationship with them has to be conditional, because at some point in time I have to set a healthy boundary with that person. Not to stop them from treating me that way, but to stop me from allowing them to treat me that way. And like I always like to tell people, I'm like, my love for people, I am a lover, I am a giver, I love everybody, okay? I need to be one to hug up and love up on everybody, but I can't. But I can't. And this is coming from a person who gave until I was burnt out, and tired and just exhausted. That's where the I love you for free is, because you can't set a boundary with people until you start setting boundaries with yourself. As below, as above, so below, as within, so without. So if you lack boundaries, which is basically also what the octopus card is about, is lacking boundaries. If you lack boundaries, you have to start setting boundaries within yourself first. And then you can set boundaries with other people. And then once you set the boundaries, it's one thing to set the boundary, it's another thing to enforce the said boundary. And it's also one thing to know the difference between making a request and also setting a boundary. Because you can tell someone how they made you feel and that you don't like when they do something and make you feel some type of way, but it's a different thing to be like, okay, I told you that I don't like when you do this, so moving forward, the next time you do this, I will have to A, remove myself from the conversation, or B, end the conversation until I feel comfortable enough to come back to said conversation. Not just, I don't like when you do that, don't do that. That's not a boundary. It's a request. So the I love you for free card is a reminder to stand firm in your boundaries, and especially once you set them, stand firm in them. A boundary isn't they didn't realize it this time, so I'm gonna just let it slide. No, it's a, hey, as a reminder, remember this boundary that I placed? Yeah, I'm gonna need both of us to go ahead and honor that, but most importantly, I'm going to need myself to honor that, to honor my own boundary. And also for my people pleasers, it's not going to feel great when you start setting boundaries. The people pleaser in you is going to be highly upset. Oh, well, maybe I'll go back. No. Stand firm in it anyways. And again, setting boundaries is not for other people. It is for yourself. Self-love is top tier. Yes, it is. I am stepping into a place of unconditional self-love, because there are levels to self-love. There just are. There are levels to self-love. There's just self-love where you'd be like, oh, I kind of like myself. I don't think I like myself. And that's when you start getting to know yourself. And then you're like, oh, I love myself. But, I could lose a couple pounds, or, I could make more money, or I could, travel some more. Then there's I love myself no matter what. That's that unconditional, deep love. And what a lot of people don't realize is self-acceptance is self-love. Self-acceptance is self-love. It's a form of self-love. How can you say that you love yourself in totality if there are things about you that you don't accept? I accept myself in totality. I can tell you right now that there are times where I lie to myself, okay? I'm working on it, And I'm working on being extremely vulnerable and honest with myself about a lot of things. But I'm accepting of myself. I am accepting of myself that sometimes, you know what? When I didn't know better, I did the best that I could. And at the time, that's all that I knew. But now that I know better, I'm going to do better. Because when you know better, you do better. Like, I stopped shaming myself for lying, for manipulating, for being conniving, for being a thief, for being so many things, for being a bitch, for so many things that I thought were negative qualities, and they are, but that was just me dwelling in my shadow aspect because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. And I did what I could because I was in survival mode. And I did the best that I could in survival mode. But now that I know better, I'm going to do better. And I'm doing better. You also have to face the reality that, and you're not going to be the hero in everyone's story. You're going to be the villain in someone's story. And you have to be okay with that. Like,